Hi everybody and welcome to HM Accounting's YouTube channel. So I've decided to make this little impromptu video just for the small business owners in South Africa. I've got no talking points right now, but what I do have is experience on this topic that I tend to get from a lot of my clients, a lot of questions around this topic, right? And that is, what do I do after registering a company in South Africa? So by now, a lot of business owners do register their companies, but what comes next, they are not sure of or unclear of. So I'm gonna put this together in this little video and just give you an overview. I'm not going into the details today. I would love to hear your comments and hear your questions about what more you'd like to know on this topic and what you're unclear on. But I do want to give you a brief overview in this short video. So the first thing is, once you register a company, with your company registration, you should obtain a share certificate from the individual who's registered the company for you, as well as the BEE affidavit, right? That is what we do for our clients. So you get your company registration documents, you get your share certificate, and you get your BEE affidavit. Check those off your list. Once you have those documents, you will also receive a tax number that should come to you directly from SARS. This tax number is the tax number for the company. So remember, if you watch my YouTube video interview with Hilal TV, you will see that I talked about a company being a separate entity, right? And because it's a separate entity, it gets its own tax number and its own tax profile. Once you register a company, you automatically become liable to start submitting company tax returns. So if you, for example, have opened up your company in March 2022, you will be liable to submit your tax return for the period February 2023, right? That full year of trading. I'll go into this in a bit more detail in another video because I know a lot of individuals are also confused about the tax periods and how they work and when submissions are due and deadlines. But basically, you will not be liable immediately to submit a tax return, but you will be liable in the following tax year. Now, when you register this company, it doesn't automatically register your business as a registered representative with the SARS e-filing profile. So your next step would definitely be to get your business tax registered or to appoint your registered representative so that you can create your e-filing profile and start submitting your tax returns when they are due. In the interim, you can also get your tax clearance certificate this way, which is another important document that suppliers want to see, that government entities want to see. They all asking for a tax clearance certificate, which basically states that your company affairs are in order, your tax affairs are in order, your CIPC affairs are in order. So you're going to give them this document, right? We request the tax clearance on behalf of our clients and we offer this as a service. So we've discussed registering for tax or registering a registered representative, getting your e-filing profile. Remember, it's also now become compulsory for every company registered in South Africa to also submit their beneficial ownership document to CIPC. Now, what is this? This is a record of who are the beneficial or the eventual beneficiaries of this company. In very simple terms, it would be your directors or your shareholders of that company. Now, there is a whole long list of documents that you need to submit and the form that you need to complete, which again, we do this for our clients or on behalf of our clients to ensure that they are CIPC compliant. And I would advise that you go to an accountant to do this because it's quite a bit of admin work, and usually the company owners themselves are a bit confused on the process of beneficial ownership. But what you need to know about beneficial ownership is that it's a once-off registration. So if you do it now, you're not going to need to do it again unless there's any changes to shareholding or directorship of the company, right? Until such time, it's a once-off return that needs to be submitted immediately after you register your company. If you do not submit it, your company will eventually be deregistered because you will not be able to pay any annual returns on your company in the next year. So coming to annual returns, again, directors or owners of these companies seem to not be made aware of the fact that once you register your company, every year after that, on the anniversary of that company, and you can check the anniversary date on your CK document itself, you need to file an annual return with CIPC. Again, this is a service that we do offer to our clients. But basically, an annual return is, I explain it to my clients as it is a rent that you pay to keep your company open, right? So it's a small fee you got to pay CIPC every year to ensure that your company remains active, trading, in compliance with CIPC, and does not get deregistered. Because that can happen if you have not submitted your annual returns for a period of 4 years. You go into a deregistration process. Also, interest is charged on late submissions. Now, coming back to taxes, right? Because now we finished the CIPC compliance. Annual returns every year from the year after opening the company on the anniversary date. Beneficial ownership immediately after opening your company. Submit that or get your accountant to submit that. It is now compulsory, and company will become deregistered and non-compliant without the submission of that. That is your CIPC compliance. That's what you need to ensure is in order. Another important point is your BEE certificate expires every 12 months. So you need to get that renewed with your accountant. Your tax clearance certificate also expires every 12 months, or if you become non-compliant with any forms of taxes, it can expire before that 12-month period. Back to our tax return or company tax return. I've had a lot of instances where clients come to me and say, SARS is looking for me and I owe all of this money for my company and I don't know why. My first thing to say to them is, did you check your interest and penalties? Have you submitted your outstanding tax return? Because generally the case where there is interest and penalties, it is because tax returns have not been submitted. So I do want to bring that point to your attention, where if you choose not to submit your company tax return, SARS is going to charge you interest and penalties, which accumulate after time. Ultimately, I would advise that you get in touch with an accountant or a tax professional so that they can offer you a full-on consultation tailored to your business and to give you the advice that you would need for your business specifically. Because I do know providing all of this information to you at once is a little bit overwhelming, but I'm doing it so that you are aware or you can foresee what are the next steps, right? And not just the immediate step. You've also got to register a business bank account. Once you have your CK documents, you can go to the bank and open up your business bank account, which I highly suggest you do immediately, because you want to start trading in that business bank account and you want to ensure your funds are in there, kept separate from yourself, and that you are recording them. Now, a simple way of recording your expenses is open up your Excel spreadsheet, have a tab for income, have a tab for expenses, put in columns for what that expense is or what that income is, the invoice numbers, when was it received or when was it paid, just to keep track of your finances and know the important number of what your profit is every month, right? This also makes it easier for filing your financials and your company tax returns with your accountant. But like I said, I'm giving you a brief overview in this video just so you have a bird's eye view of what you need to do. The other types of registrations that you may need once opening your company is, if you have employees, you are going to need to register with the Labor Department for UIF and submit your UIF returns once a month. We also assist our clients with the registrations as well as the monthly submissions. If your employees are earning over the minimum taxable amount every month, then, which is at the moment around 8,000 roughly, you will also need to register for PAYE with SARS. So just keep that in mind, right? The other registration you may or may not need to do at some point is a VAT registration. Once your taxable income, once your taxable revenue, your money is coming in, has reached 1 million rand, it is compulsory for you to register for VAT. And these VAT returns will most probably need to be submitted every 2 months. But in the interim, unless you voluntarily need to register for VAT, you do not need to, because remember, in most cases, you'll be paying that over to SARS. But once your turnover starts to become closer to the 1 million mark, I would definitely advise you get VAT registered before you reach that 1 million mark. I hope this has answered some of your questions around what to do, what registrations, where to start after registering a company in South Africa. Please leave your comments in the section below. Please leave your questions. I would love to elaborate more on any of the sections that you are still not sure on or that you need further guidance on. I'd love to go into these topics with you. I'm really passionate about assisting small business owners who are a little bit in the dark after registering a company, and try to make as many small business owners' lives as easy as possible. Also remember, you can get in touch with me at HM Accounting for any registration services, for finance consultations, for annual financial statement services. So if you're looking for accounting services, financial consultations, registration services, get in touch with us. If you have any other questions, just drop a message below. Like this video, please. Subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for much more information that I hope to be sharing soon with you guys. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.